Good evening. New Hope, that's the name of one of Toronto's newest homeless shelters. It's also Toronto's newest way of naming such facilities, and that is to leave the word shelter out completely. What do you think of when you hear the word shelter?
Yeah, to me, shelter has always represented some sort of stigma.
He's an advocate for the homeless, and at one point in his life, Alex Zager was homeless.
The last company I worked for, they unfortunately downsized, and yeah, next thing you know, I'm having to find myself without a job in the shelter system, and I had to fight my way out of it.
He's now fighting for better conditions and a better way of naming it.
This is a good step. I think changing the name, not for the benefit of the shelter users, but for the benefit of Joe Public.
Last April, City Council approved a plan to not only rethink the way its emergency shelters operate, but also change public attitudes around them. Part of that plan, removing the word shelter altogether.
We found that, yes, a lot of people say, "Ooh, shelter, it makes me afraid."
A city survey done last fall found a whopping 93% felt it was either a negative or neutral term. Many recommended a new moniker altogether. The city is now testing out 9 names in a new survey, including Connect, Link, or Junction Services, First Step Housing and Services, or Navigation Center. Do you find the word shelter problematic?
Personally, no, but remember, I'm a city councillor, so I have to deal with a lot of things, but I've dealt many times with putting shelters into community, and the minute they hear the word shelter, they get so upset.
City Council approved a motion last week to introduce 1,000 new shelter beds over the next 3 years. Toronto's emergency shelter system is almost always full or at capacity. Last Wednesday, it held about 5,800 people, including almost 1,600 in motel beds.
Well, I work in a shelter, and I think that it's something that's essential.
While some favor the name change, others think the city's effort should go into improving conditions in and out of shelters.
I think ultimately it's about how a place looks. For example, in this case, they actually listened to the community. There was a bit of backlash initially. People were afraid of, what if we have a lot of smokers at the door, that kind of stuff. So they reacted by creating this zone at the back. And I think that's ultimately what matters.
For Zager, what matters most is sending the right message for those in the system already, that there is hope to get out.
75% are there because they've lost their job, or illness, or an accident, or trauma of some sort. So it's not by choice, and they just need the opportunity to get away.
And that city survey to choose a new name for shelter is still open, so if you want to weigh in, you can go to our website, citynews.ca.